Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 1 second. It's going to send. 1 second, guys. Welcome. And if you're watching post-match preview, this is Hamza Talks Ball. Today we will be discussing, I never do this, I've never done this for a long time, immediate post-match preview. I'm going to bring the panel, but today is going to be a short one, but I think we have to discuss this. And first, before I present everyone else, listen, big up to every single one of you. Like, I've never had, I think one of the stressful days today, literally. And I have to say that today I had to do this preview and just have a discussion with my fellow City fans and the football fans to see, am I wrong? I want to hear people's views. And today, I think was the day. I think I'm going to present the guys. First to present is Alan. Welcome, Alan, man. Alan, all the way from Australia.
Hi, guys. How are you doing?
Hope you're doing good, Alan. And
I've had a sleepless couple of nights after that horrendous performance.
Alan and Mateos, none other than you guys would I just want to hear your point of view. I don't know. I'm shocked.
Shall I go first?
Yeah, Alan, I want to hear you first.
Right. Situation. I'm not going to have a go at any of the players that played that game against Leverkusen the other night. I just think Pep is an absolute tool for changing 10 players. Right? It's his responsibility, and it's all on him. You cannot expect any of the 10 players that played to perform when they've not been given chances all season. They're totally undercooked, totally not ready, totally, I would best put it, not in form. It's all right bringing 2 or 3 players in, right, into a good side and letting those players get back into form, right, surrounded by the good players. But you don't do 10 changes all at once and expect them to play as a unit. There's only one person's fault here. And Pep, I'm sorry, and you're getting called up. It's all on him. He was an absolute tool. I could swear, but I'm not going to. All right? Because I use the C word, but I'm not going to go there because I was furious. When I saw the team line up at 6 a.m. in Australia, an hour before, I went absolutely mad. I knew it was coming. I knew it. I thought, as soon as I saw it, I went, we lose. But Leverkusen had won more or less. They've not lost in 5 on the bounce in Bundesliga. So since the new manager came along, and they're playing decent football. And so scored 12 goals in 3 games. So why did he do that? Why? I'm sorry, but if I was Khaldun, I'd be having a word with him quietly in an office on his own saying, what are you doing after that? He should be bollocked for that.
I agree. That's on him. Right, because there was no need. There was a must-win game that would have put us in a comfortable position in terms of qualifying for that top 8, avoid an extra game in January. Right now, there's 3 games left. I know the 3 games are a final. Yeah? One is away to Real Madrid. The 2 next game is away. And we all know how bad we've been away from home. Right? So We're going away to the Bernabeu. I've got no confidence we're going to win. Yeah? That's another games that we're going to drop points, definitely. And then will our next get Bodo Glimt? Well, we don't know. And then we head into Galatasaray home, which is going to be a gate, which is going to be like a final. It's going to be pressure in that game. So all them changes, he just put unnecessary pressure on this group of players after coming back from a defeat away to Newcastle. I agree. I'm not blaming the players. I can't blame them. This is all on the manager. Yeah, it was arrogant to make all these sort of changes. This is the same starting 11 that was struggling against Swansea in the Carabao Cup. And you expect them, that same starting 11, to go out there against Bayer Leverkusen, who, by the way, is 2 points behind us. 2. Yeah, that starting 11 has no cohesion whatsoever. And just the same as Newcastle. So we got absolute bullet in the middle of the park. Again, like it's like just Nico Gonzalez in there, and the players, doesn't matter what players he put in front of Nico Gonzalez, they're not physical enough, they don't win any duels, they don't put any tackles. I feel like the midfield that he picks, every single combination of a midfield 3 that he picks, yeah, he only thinks about in possession. He doesn't think, yeah, how his midfield is going to play without the ball. The pressing game is off. We can't press. So he opted to a different tactics where we drop a couple of yards back, let the team do the build up, and then we hit them in a counter. It was working. The players was suiting them. Yeah, going to international break, coming back. He sat in the press conference against Newcastle, and he said, yeah, to the whole world, yeah, because he was asked. I think that someone asked him, "What's one?" So he sat in the press conference, yeah, before Newcastle. He was asked, Pep, we've noticed that you've changed the way you're approaching games now. You become a bit more transitional football. And he sat there, he answered, yeah. Over the last 9 years or 10 seasons I've been here, yeah, I've won 6 Premier Leagues with the way I want to play. I haven't changed it. Yeah, I want to set my team to play a certain way, the way I want. I want us to be ourselves in my philosophy. Yeah, we went to the Newcastle. He reversed back to what he knows, which is boring, sideways, pass. Yeah, we were 2-0 down at Newcastle, and we're playing like we're 3-0 up. No urgency. Yeah, not cutting edge. No balls in between the lines. Nothing. It was just Ruben Diaz, Vardio, O'Reilly back to Vardio back to Ruben Diaz, Nunes, and then just like that, right? I was watching from watch Newcastle from the minute 65 all the way up until 84. It was pass, nothing. Yeah, he went out like 3 days after. He's done the same. Yeah, it feels like he doesn't want to get away of his philosophy. It doesn't matter what players he recruits, doesn't matter what player he buys, he will tell them to play exactly the same. We were using Marmoush yesterday as if he was Erling Haaland. More over the top. What do you expect Marmoush? Like to go and jump it between a back 3 and hold on to the ball? It's not that type of player. We are not playing to the strength of these players. Obi, half of these players in this squad, they're not good enough. No, they absolutely crap.
Fact.
Half of them. Like, I was looking yesterday, yeah. I was speaking to me mate Elliot. Elliot, like, we were standing in there and we were like, this is absolutely shit. Yeah. And Elliot was like, I'm going home. And I started there for another 50 minutes. Yeah. And I was like, nah. As soon as that Savio started running with the ball and literally, yeah, fell off his ass, I stood there and I told him about me. I was like, nah, I'm going home. I'm freezing cold in here. Yeah. Because why on earth would you go to match game 5 in the Champions League where you need to win and make 10 or 11 changes? That team struggled against Swansea. Carabao Cup. Why? We've got Leeds at home the next game. These players, all of them players, they don't need to rest for the Leeds at home. You could make a couple of changes, 3 or 4, keep the same core, yeah. Going out there, get the win against Leeds, make a couple of more changes. Brother, it's absolute mental, his decisions.
What was your reaction when you saw the team before the game?
I didn't have any reaction, to be honest. I was like, really? And I was like, okay, listen, it's a home game because Josko Vardy sat in the press conference and told me that we don't like to play away from home because it's hard, so we prefer to play at home. So I was like, okay, it's a home, so go out there and win. But after the first 2 minutes, I said we are not winning that game. Remember, as soon as fucking was it Trafford passed that ball to remember Tottenham?
Yeah.
Gonzalez. They done it the same in minute 2, and I'm like, oh my.
You know, it's Mateus. Sorry to cut you off. Sorry to cut you off. Sorry,
brother.
Mateus, to cut you off.
I'm not going to blame.
Quick,
I'm not going to name.
Alan, sorry to cut you off. I'll make it quick. Yeah.
I started on there.
Mateus, you know when I was like, you know when I knew when we were going to lose.
I finished work, went home, chopped off my bag, and I went straight to the game. I sat there. I was knackered, and as soon as I saw that minute 2, and I was like, dearie me, this is going to be a fucking long night in this freezing cold out there. But listen, it's not the players. We cannot blame the players because at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself a question. Are you happy with the way this team is playing football? Are you happy with in-game management? Are you happy with the substitutions? If the answer is no, then you need to look at what Pep is doing. Because it seems like he finds a way that suited this team, but reverse back to what he knows. Similar to last season. He finds a way, we win a few games, then he reverses back to what we know. Or what he knows. Like, it's mental. You can't keep doing that.
But the funny thing is, I wanted to say that.
Hamza, can I say something quickly, Hamza?
Go on, Adam.
No, you know what it is, yeah, Hamza. Sorry to cut you off, Mateus, but Alan, you know the moment when I said something isn't going to be right and it's not going to be our day, the moment that lineup came out,
yeah,
I just said to myself, Alan, the first thing that came to my head was, I don't understand this because someone told me, what was it, rotation? But Alan, that game is 3 days. 3 days. And look, Alan, I could understand here I could understand if we've qualified. Hamza, you know where my annoyance is? I could understand if we've qualified we cemented those top 8 spots, Alan. I could understand rotation and all. But you've not cemented that top 8 spot. So that's the annoyance that I've had, Mateus, is that the way he behaved yesterday was like he's already cemented that top 8 spot. It's pure arrogance and stupidity. But sorry to cut you off, guys.
We're at home. We haven't gone through. We're playing at home. Advantage. And you know you have to go to Madrid next. Advantage Champions League. You can qualify.
You have Madrid and Galatasaray.
And he basically, I think, he just shows you what Pep did. Classic Pep. I'm the guy. I know best. And the thing is, it's not humbleness, because not many managers do that. Not many managers rotate in a big game Champions League that you need to go through. But then he comes into a form that this Leverkusen team, I know they got this new manager, that team goes bollocks 7-2 by PSG. At home, PSG mullered them at home. And they had how many players missing? How many players?
Like 7. I think they had like 7 or 8 players missing. I think.
I had 11. I was shocked. Someone said 8. I was shocked. Like Monaco had 9 players missing. 9 players missing. And we can't even. Can you imagine back in the day how much that game would have been done 20 minutes? Bang! Slap them, done, everyone chill out, relax. The fact that we went with that lineup, I looked at that lineup. Okay, people wanted to give Trafford a chance. People wanted giving Ake a chance. People think Stone still had it. People thought Aït-Nouri is still good. But the fact that even he took off Aït-Nouri, he's already shot that. Why? Like, he took off Aït-Nouri, he knew straight away. But I looked at that team. Rico in midfield doesn't get into any top team. Rico does not even get into Everton's midfield. Rico doesn't even get to Nottingham Forest midfield.
Hamza, I'm not blaming each player individually as their fault. The problem is, if a player's out of form, which happens, okay, to everyone, right? When you do bring him in the side, you make 2 or 3 changes, bring him in with good players around him. Players then will get back into form, okay? But when you put a team out that's 10 changes, when the team hasn't played together at all, what the fuck do you expect?
Yeah, because all them 10 players, they're pretty much the same level.
Yeah.
You are the same level. If you put like 3 or 4 players from that team yesterday, and mix up with your first team that is on this level, your first team push all these top players into their level. When
Absolutely.
you put players all in the same level, then the performance will be bad.
He made far too many. When he made 10 changes, I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
Exactly, Alan.
And I was
getting X, Y, and Z. Yeah,
and I was getting.
I don't think X, Y, and Z going to make any difference, because I said it. We've signed since the treble. We've signed 15 players. How many of them players are in the starting 11 out of these 15? Vardio, Doku, Donnarumma, Nico Gonzalez, only because Roger is injured, because otherwise he'll be benched. And Cherky. That's it, really.
And you know what's the annoying thing?
Bernardo's still starting. Yeah. Foden is there. Diaz is there. Well, Nunes is, we haven't got any right back, really. O'Reilly's academy and all that. Yeah. For me, it doesn't matter what players you buy in January transfer window, because he's not going to start in them. And when he doesn't start the new players, straight away, the fan base make excuses. Things like, oh, they need to adapt. Give them a few months. What happened to Nico Gonzalez? What happened to Nico Gonzalez when he signed Nico Gonzalez in deadline day? Nico Gonzalez came in against Leyton Orient. He played well, got injured, then he came back after a week. And they were like, right, put Nico Gonzalez in there alongside Kovacic, solidify that midfield. We didn't see Nico Gonzalez start on a consistent basis. What was the excuses from the fan base? The manager was coming up from the press conferences say, oh, we need to work on a few details. And the fan base was like, yeah, it takes time, because remember Bernardo Silva, it took a year. It doesn't matter what midfielder we sign, he will not start. The fan base will back it up. Yeah, you can go out there and decide Anderson. Yeah, Nico Gonzalez. You say, right, Anderson, Nico Gonzalez straight away in that midfield, secure that midfield. Yeah, he will pick one or the other, and then he'll have to pick Bernardo Silva, who's his pet. He starts every game, and Foden or Cherky, and then you're going to ask Anderson to do the Nico Gonzalez, which is run around, put all the tackles, secure the back line, protect the back four, go out there, win the duels, because the captain is not going to do it, and Foden is not going to do it either. Cherky doesn't press. So we've got 2 midfielders that are physical, got pace, can tackle. They're playing fullbacks. Take one of them, put in the midfield, sacrifice one of your attacking midfielders. It's simple. Yeah, because at the end of the day, he convinced the fan base that Nunes cannot play midfield, is not smart enough. But at the same time, Nunes came in, yeah, had a decent debut. He started against Wolves. His former team away from home had a poor performance. We didn't see Nunes again.
Fact.
There was no consistency, right?
Yeah.
There was no armor on the shoulder. Yeah, don't worry. I trust you. Yeah. It's only one bad game, but I trust you, and I'm gonna coach you how to do a job. No, Nunes is not smart enough. The fan base, oh, Nunes is shit. Bench. Yeah. Kovacic game. It doesn't matter. Yeah. He was trying to throw Nico Gonzalez under the bus because he said he's not doing, and the fan base agreed. But to a point where he saw Rodri's not coming back, it was like, all right, then I've got no other option apart from coaching this lad how to play a hold the midfield. He has no other option because he tried Reinders against Villa. It didn't work.
Yeah.
He tried Reinders against Al Hilal.
Al Hilal.
He has no other option. He will only coach these players if he's got no other option. But if he has, he's not going to do it because at the end of the day, he went to Anfield, with he preferred to go to Anfield, bench Nico Gonzalez or not being even selected. He preferred to go out there with Rico Lewis and Bernardo Silva in a double pivot. Why? Because this is the players he knows. He always reverts back to the players that he knows. When he wants something, he will not trust the new players. He tends to go back to the players that he knows. FA Cup final, he found a back four of Vardio, Diaz, and O'Reilly and Nunes. We went to Southampton the game before the FA Cup final. He started Akanji, and I said it. He's starting Akanji in there to start him in the cup final. Yeah, it was like the back four that was working. No, I don't want that. Akanji, Vardio left back again. Akanji centre back with Diaz and Nunes. You see, when you see things that are working, he feels like to a point where, right, I know we're getting results, I know we're getting the wins. But I don't see the team playing the way that I want them to play in my philosophy. So he goes back to his philosophy. But the players that he recruited are different players to the ones he had. Mahrez, Jack Grealish, these are wingers that like to have the ball, possession. Gundo, Kevin De Bruyne, these are quality midfielders. So you had that group of players that were comfortable to play in your position, in your system, and your philosophy. So now you recruited a group of players that are transitional player. They only need 3-4 passes to start making runs. Yeah. And he was working with Doku, Cherky. Right, look at Liverpool. One ball, Cherky, lay off to Haaland, bang, we're in. Wasn't Liverpool, was Bournemouth, bang, we're in, straight away. This is how this group of players wants to play. They do not want possession-based football because they cannot hold on to the ball. Yeah, they like to sit deep, absorb the pressure, and hit teams on the break. They don't like to go and press it every time they lose the ball. That's why when we press 2-3 passes, the opposition team has gone past the first line of press, which is the attack, has gone past our midfielder, and our defense is on trenches. They are already running. This team, our players, Reinders, Nico Gonzalez, Cherky, Doku, they're players that they don't know how to press. If your players they don't know how to press, you tell them drop a couple of yards. Yeah, whenever you don't have the ball, when you win it.
Let me ask you something, Matthias. Let me ask you something. The big thing that I forgot to say to you guys.
Yeah, but Hamza, just before I finish, Hamza, one more point. But in order to do that, yeah, you have to give away possession. And who is not going to give away the ball? Pep, because it's his philosophy. He likes to have the ball.
Yeah, he loves it. Listen, the key thing to me is he spoke about, and a lot of our fan base spoke down to Bayer Leverkusen not playing Echeverri. Yes or no? Remember, Echeverri, why are you not playing Echeverri? They've now beaten us. They said, we're better than you. You've given us a guy that doesn't start for you. We've just beaten you without Echeverri. Echeverri was not even in the bench. Echeverri, who we loaned, and our fan base were complaining about Bayer Leverkusen not playing Echeverri, beat us at home. We can talk. No Man City fan can talk about that loan to Bayer Leverkusen. To me, yesterday was a coward. I couldn't believe. I called them cowards. I was swearing. Bro, there was no threat. There was nothing. There was no drive. There was no leaders. Didn't see any leadership. A guy who comes in and says, I want to win the game. I want to fight for the ball. I'm like, oh my God. How
I agree.
Well, now you've got Reinders.
Fully agree.
Now you've got Reinders, who the fan base are telling the fan base is saying Reinders is shit, Reinders not good enough. Well, who's getting the same treatment as Reinders? Well, you just need to run the clock back. Reinders is getting the same treatment as Nunes. It's not good enough anymore. And Nunes was getting the same treatment as Calvin Phillips. Why? Because you buying different profiles of midfielders, but you asking them to do a job that they cannot do. It's not their strength. You asking Reinders to be good enough.
How come the midfield battered us? How come the midfield battered us? Maza and Alex Garcia, who used to play for Man City back in 2015. Oh my God. Alex Garcia in midfield and Maza battered our midfield. But we still have the same problem. Our midfield we used to control the game. Everyone needs to know Man City and Pep's team are controllers. They basically boss the game from the midfield. Maza and Alex Garcia had us up in midfield.
Right. In order to control the games and boss the midfield, right? Who in that midfield, apart from Nico Gonzalez, who is in there to actually win the ball back as soon as they lose it? Who? Foden? Bernardo? Really? Brother, come on, man. What are we doing here?
But the quality of the team, do you trust? Is there something else? I want to go to Buddha.
Not really. But at the end of the day, if the quality is poor,
Yes, but here's Hamza.
What do you think about yesterday? What did you see from yesterday?
15 players.
Well, basically, I'm gonna start with the Newcastle game because I think I'm starting to see this thing. It occurs more and more and more. The mentality is one of the problems that we lack here. There's no hunger to win the games. Once we start conceding, we can't come back. Tottenham, we conceded, couldn't come back.
Wow.
Every game we conceded, we can't come back. For example, I even made an example of remember the treble season when we went I think 2-0 down to Tottenham. Remember how our players reacted back then.
Yeah.
You had Mahrez.
Yeah.
If other players are failing to perform, other players would outperform them regardless of their starters or their bench players, but they would react in a way that they want to win. For the second half of the Bayer Leverkusen game, I started seeing Haaland just walking around. The body language, you could have already seen that we're not winning this game. Nobody wants to fight for the win. So it's one of the issues. And the other issues that I'm also trying to figure out is that which system does Pep want to play? Does he want to be transitional? Because sometimes we transitional, sometimes we position based. Is he confused on which system he wants to play? So I don't understand. Also, the lineup, I was like, Pep is doing an amateur mistake. You can't change 10 players and it doesn't make sense. Is he saving them for Leeds? Nah, I don't think so. What is Pep thinking? Because it's amateur mistakes that he's making. So, but there's nothing else we can do. The team is dipping down. I can't see progress.
Yeah.
I don't see players that want to fight.
I think the quality is number one. I really believe the quality has gone bad.
It comes
We
down
don't
to
have the quality of players we used to have. We don't have winner. We don't have winning mentality players. We don't have the quality, and quality is what you need in any football team. If this team's better than that, that team has a better quality of player than that. It's simple. There's some players at Man City, like we rejected Rico Lewis going to Nottingham Forest. Was it a 34 million bid? We ain't gonna get that back. Yeah? Savio 70 million bid? We ain't getting that back. That's 100 million. Arsenal got Eze for 52 million pounds. Yeah? That I know I don't want Eze or you go, but you could have utilized that money and bought players. I'm sorry, the quality of Oscar Bob, Rico Lewis, Reinders has been poor midfield. Yeah, Kovacic, we still went with the midfield that we knew Kovacic is not going to come back. He's injury prone. His comeback is injured. Rodri is not available. He's still injured. Mamouche going on to Egypt to play in the AFCON. He's dropping him and he's not bringing him on against Newcastle when we're losing. Yeah, he's refusing to take off some players who are playing poor because I don't know what he has. I don't know what's happened to Pep Guardiola. A manager used to have the players we used to have. We used to rattle. We used to be 2-0 down against Tottenham when they had Son and Harry Kane. We were 2-0 down. December, after the World Cup, we turned it around. 4-2. Batter them. What? You got Julian Alvarez, Mahrez there. KDB, they ain't going to lose a game at home. Easy. But who have you got? We were 2-0 down. They could have scored even 2 more goals afterwards. And I thought this is a Bayer Leverkusen team that lost 7-2. This is the same problem we had at Monaco. I said it to you, all of you. I said, Monaco's missing 9 players. How are we getting a draw? But at least we didn't lose. What kind of mentality is that? Monaco, 4th place team in France with 8 players missing. You can't beat them. You can't beat Tottenham team at home. A Tottenham team that's been snapped 4-1 to Arsenal now. And you want to be champions of England. Look how far behind we've been left now. Now Pep, and it's because of one man, Pep Guardiola. Stubbornness, his stubbornness. And when will he learn? Like, this is the only problem. The lineup is wrong. The substitution is wrong. He's making recurrent mistakes. And I'm looking at him, I'm thinking, Pep never had used to make these mistakes. Pep never used to make this kind of mistakes. Substitution wrong. Not bringing the right players when you're losing. You got Momo Mamouche on the bench. You bring him at the 88th minute against Villa. You bring him the 88th minute against Newcastle. When the game is done, you don't even bring him on. What are you doing? Mamouche was going to Egypt in 2 weeks' time. We kept him on the bench. Yeah? Mamouche should not have been coming off to
Well, he has to play Savio, doesn't he?
He has to.
Because go and watch his press conference. He said that he trusts Savio, and he was asked why about the rumors around Savio and during the summer transfer window, and he said it. I always give my input on a certain players. I talk to Chiki, Viana. I give my input on the player, and then they decided. So I'm happy Savio is stayed, and we showed his appreciation with the new contract. So now he has to bring on Savio as a first sub because he needs to show the fan base that this transfer window works.
Fact.
Because he needs to start saving his faces, right? He needs to show the fan base, right? This is why I keep this. I've kept this player, and this is why I gave him a new deal. So he needs Savio this season needs to work.
What about Rico Lewis though? Because he also had an extension.
We've got a big problem in our team, which is mentality, and this has been coming since last season. Yeah, every time we concede, the heads drop. if we score first, then we concede, then we can always come back. We can always score the second one and then go and win the game. But when we concede first, yeah, we are in a major problem because the team doesn't have any sort of inventiveness in them. They haven't got any sort of creativity. You watch that Leverkusen game, we could have been playing another 90 minutes and we would be playing the same way. Go on the side, go on to the wingers. The wingers start take a man on, put a cross, whether he hits the first man, go for a corner, whatever, or the cross is way too high. It doesn't matter. Both sides of the pitch, they do exactly the same.
It's too
This
predictable.
is instruction coming from the bench. This is an instruction coming from the training ground. We don't play through the midfield when we had the KDBs, the David Silvas, the Yaya Torres, the Gundo, the Rodri, the Fernandinho. Why? Because there's no quality in there, or he's asking the midfield because Foden's not good. See, Foden needs someone to get the ball to him. Kevin De Bruyne drops to get the ball so it can spread the ball into the attacking players. They're completely different player. Yeah, that Foden, he gets in the pockets and waits until the ball gets to him. Cherky comes deep, get the ball and get the ball moving into the attacking line. KDB does the same. But when you go out there with a midfield of Bernardo, who spend most of the time next to Ruben Diaz, chatting about Agave, Porto, or we're going to Lisbon next weekend. Let's get some McDonald's. Do you know what I mean? He spends more time, next to his defenders than his striker. That's Bernardo Silva. That's a guy who you play in midfield as an attacking midfielder. The guy, he literally, when we have the ball, he spends more time at the back with Ruben Diaz and Josko Vardio than with his striker. This is mental. Yeah, it's mental. And people are telling me, are sitting here and telling me, oh, he allows the fullbacks to go forward. We are the only team. We are the only team that we need a midfielder to be with the defenders so the fullbacks can go forward. And I was asking the question, how is it Lewis Hall and fucking Livramento were bumping down, open down the pitch, and they didn't need the Bruno Guimaraes to be next to fucking Sa or Dan Burnt, whatever. Why are we making excuses for players like that?
You know what? To me, I just think we have there's some players there that will not even play in the Premier League. There's some players that will never start for many clubs, and I can call them up. Rico Lewis will not start for even United. Man United, that we laugh at. Rico Lewis will not walk into Man United starting team. And if you ask United fans,
Hamza, forget Man United. Hamza, forget United. Would you start for Everton?
Will not walk in United's bench.
Hamza,
This is shocking players.
United, would you start for Everton?
We've got players who believe, and we have played. We've given keys to guys. There's no leadership. There's no winners. I saw them, and Haaland was warming up, and they're 2-0 down, and I'm like, when was the last time Man City have been 2-0 down and you don't get fire? Literally everyone will be fires, but everywhere. These guys, at one point, I swear, who remembers this part? They were 2-0 down. They counter-attacked us, and Ake was walking. Did you see Ake walking? I wish I clipped that. Ake, I said, how can they counter me for the third one? And they nearly scored. How can they have Maza, Alex Garcia, random guys bopping me around the park? And I'm pressed backwards. I'm 2-0 down, and our team is pressed backwards. And I think that's a shame. You should be getting the ball. 5 seconds, man. Where's the urge? Where's the drive?
Well,
There
there was a difference.
That's
One thing
will be on to you. KDB will be on to you. Bam! Bro, they already surrounded you. Bam! There you are. In fact, you'll be so scared to counterattack them because you know when they get the ball, they're dangerous. You remember how much we hurt Madrid playing them off the back? Madrid could not get the ball with Toni Kroos and Modric. Toni Kroos and Modric could not get the ball. We pinned them. Vinicius, Benzema could not get 4-0. Bro, that's levels.
Hamza.
These are bums.
Hamza, at the end of the day, the
And Pep Guardiola is responsible for this.
Yeah,
for
at the end of the day,
critical Pep. What arrogance has cost this team?
Hamza, at the
This
end of the
season
day,
is bad.
At the end of the day, yeah, the recruitment always comes down to Pep Guardiola. Players like Rico Lewis getting a new deal and stay at the football club, whilst you could have sold him for 30 million and get someone who actually is going to start. Is on him, yeah.
but why is
no. Bernardo Silva was.
He wants to show it.
In April, what happened? He gave him the captain's armband. He told him he's not going to go. Right?
Yeah.
You could have out there get Bernardo Silva off the wage bill. Yeah, sell him. Get out of the wage bill, which is 300 grand a week, by the way. Yeah, and get 2 players on a 150, 2 midfielders that can actually do a job. But instead, you kept him. Yeah, you've got players like Calvin Phillips still at this football club. We've got 4 goalkeepers. Yeah, we've got 2 defenders that is actually like they've gone like it's like milk. They're just in the fridge. They're out of date. And Ake and John Stones, which are combined of 420 million pounds to 420,000 in wage. Yeah, why is they still here? Why? People telling me, oh, it's homegrown. Oh, we need to keep them from homegrown. No. Enough of this bullshit right now, yeah? Because you can sell these players, yeah? And you can add English midfielder or English winger into your team and they be part of the homegrown. You cannot go out there. You can go out there, get Anderson, get Morgan Gibbs-White, get Walton, yeah? They're all homegrown players. You don't need to replace a defender, an English defender with an English defender. You don't. Yeah, you've got Gussanov, Reis, and all that. Yeah, got Crystal Palace. Yeah, get one of their defenders. Got to fucking Nottingham Forest. Get one of their midfielders. And start building from there.
Mateus, do you remember
just before I finish it, 3 days before the transfer window closed, we were on the space. Yeah, Daniel was there, Adam was there, and I said it. We need to get another attacking goal scorer. We haven't got goals in this team. People sat there and people told me, oh, we don't need that. We've got Foden, Bob, Cherky, Davio. They can score goals. And I was looking at people, and I was like, are you fucking mad? Yeah, and I said it. Go to West Ham, get Gerard Bowen in there, who is guaranteed minimum of 20 goals in the Premier League. Get Bowen. He can play on the left. Yeah, he can score goals. He can assist. And we don't need Bowen. This is a big season for Oscar Bob. I'm like,
there you are. They will sell their souls for guys who are not proven. Bro, they were telling me, I said, if Haaland goes,
I've had enough of this.
Haaland goes, Haaland gets injured in December, and Mamouche is gone. What's your solution? Foden as false 9.
Foden as false 9.
Oscar Boba. Why they gave me this?
Hamza.
Hamza.
This is going to happen when Mamouche scores an AFCON and Haaland doesn't stay fit. We need to see Foden in the false 9.
Yes,
we have to.
Don't dare me bring up names. Foden false 9. Foden false 9. Get out of here about your Foden false 9, man. Bullshit. Wallahi.
This fan base is
man. Fucking man. False 9. Phil Foden, false nine. But I swear to God, I can fucking
Hamza,
He can't even play his own position. Never mind false nine.
It's a disrespect to Foden. You just want him to fail. Bro, they will defend and say anything to defend the club.
Hamza,
Anything.
Hamza.
Some people, bro, Pep Guardiola ain't gonna give you to come to his house.
Hamza,
Pep Guardiola will not give us a ticket to Spain.
Hamza.
Don't defend this club. Defend the morals of the club, the functioning of the club. Don't
Hamza.
defend the man. Don't die on the sword.
Hamza.
Look at
Hamza,
me.
the problems are structural, and it starts with who defines the philosophy of that structure. Mateo's hit on some points, and it made me think. If Bernardo left the season that he wanted to go to Barcelona, that slot could have been occupied by either a homegrown player or somebody that would have been brought in under cost control that you could have evaluated and could have made the decision, and most likely they would have been younger. You choosing to keep some of the players that have been around and they're still playing, it's an indictment that you didn't have a proper succession plan. It should not take your emergency scenario for you to then fast track your succession plan, which lets me know your plan wasn't as concrete as you probably thought. You thought you could have rolled the dice with that same squad again. Who delayed the rebuild? Who delayed the rebuild? He did. And there were going to be consequences to the delay of that rebuild. Who said it was okay at that time to make the decision to let KDB go? It was the right decision, don't get me wrong. But who gave the okay? It wasn't just the board that came to a consensus. Pep had to sign off as well. There's been a convoluted of issues at this club. And if because he watches the academy tape as well, he sees the tape from the sister clubs and the players there. If they did not have a succession plan to get even profiles that we need at City, which is the primary hub, that is an indictment on the infrastructure, the philosophy that the club had. It is a problem. You cannot be $1 billion club and you don't have a right back to come to even be considered to compete with Rico Lewis. You don't have one outside of Mateus Nunes, who you had to do a makeshift. And now I'm asking myself the question: if another manager comes in and changes the scheme, can Mateus Nunes actually play in midfield? Probably, yes. He's got the physical profile that we would need. What is it exactly on the IQ front that the manager is saying he cannot do? I don't agree with it. The same thing when we had
Daniel. There's nothing.
Yeah.
It just excused that by this fan base.
That's what it is. It's a preference to get what you want, and you've won. You've gotten the right to get what you want, but as a result, people even internally probably don't second guess him when they should have, to say we've paid this much for him. You have to make it work. You can't just discard him, and then we're stuck in a position. Now we're one less midfielder down. And now we have to make shift at him at right back. And oh yeah, by the way, if you go get a right back now, you have to find a market for Nunes as well. And if you can't find a market for Nunes, it's one more player that is now stuck there. And if that right back works out, well, that means Nunes can't play right back. Because then if Nunes plays right back, where you put in Rico, where you put in Kusinov, it's another logjam. We have not gotten rid of players when we should have. We've brought players that have stayed, and they've created a logjam. Goalkeeper, midfield. It's a structural problem, and I don't know if the treble, even in itself, if it caused this level of blindness, carelessness, or just malaise. But it has to be corrected, and I don't know if it has to be corrected with Pep. I would want it to. But my fear is you're going to keep losing players because he's going to default back to the players that have helped him win. And I don't blame him for that, but it's going to cause problems. If you're Marmoush, your confidence is going to be killed Oscar Bob, Savio, Doku, those guys, their confidence is going to be killed because they're not good enough. And if they're not going to get the time to be good enough, everybody remember Maximo Perrone, right? Maximo Perrone is playing right now at Como.
He's killing it.
Yeah, he's killing it at Como, so much so that they're talking about him being the younger version of Zubimendi. But what happened? We had him internally. He had a good loan at Las Palmas. Came back. He saw that there was no place he was going to play. He went to Como. We're linked with Fabregas as a potential replacement for Pep somewhere down the future if they even consider him. How is it that Fabregas can get the best out of a player in the Italian league that is also physical and make use of his abilities, but yet our manager and our system says that sort of profile and player does not work? I'm sorry, it's excuse making for justifying excuse making because you just don't want to fit the player. And this other thing that when we go to market, that it always has to be player that ticks off box 1 through 10, that needs to stop. It needs to stop because other teams are recruiting players that cost less, players that are different, and those players give them output. We have to stop only buying players that are Spanish in ethos all the time. There are other players out there. I put in our chat the Scandinavian League. The Scandinavian League has a fraction of the money that La Liga has a fraction of the money that Serie A has a fraction of the money that even that Ligue 1 has. But they've quickly realized where the modern game is going, and they have trained, prioritized players in the academy, in the first team. They give minutes to young players that meet the need and the demand, and they fast track them. And if those players work out, guess where they end up? In the Prem. Outside of La Liga and La Liga and Ligue 1, the Scandinavian League has probably one of the biggest crop of players that are playing in the top 5 European leagues because those players translate. It shouldn't take Hugo Viana for us to figure out that we need to go to Scandinavia to get, I don't know, center backs that are actually physical with pace and technical enough. Chelsea did it. They parked that kid in Strasbourg. Like, really? With what billions of resources that we have, we can't look in other markets. Why is it always Argentina? Why is it always Brazil? Why is it always Spain? It's a gross misuse of resources, arrogance, hubris, and excuse making that should not have to be the way that it is. Bayern. Go ahead.
So someone said on X that we went to Brazil and we overlooked Estevao and came back with Kaiki and Savinho.
Okay, but to be fair, if you consider between the three, Estevao was probably the better prospect of the three. Savio, when he broke through, he had hype, but it was not to the level of Estevao. Kaiki, even when he broke through, he had hype, but he did not have even the output of Estevao. With any talent, you're going to take a gamble. There's a reason why Savio went to Troyes, then went to the Eredivisie, and then ended up in Girona. Girona was his one season where he broke out. That was it. He didn't ball out at Troyes. He didn't ball out in the Eredivisie. How does one season in Girona, again, whatever they saw, if that was the plan, you better hope that it works out. Otherwise, you've got a problem because you've also extended him now, and you're going to have to get rid of him if he doesn't work out. And he cannot be. Savio cannot be the only person that you want to fast track. You have to be more consistent in how you're going to be applying even those young players that are parked. I looked at the sister club. They have profile sixes that are physical, tall, have pace, and all the things that we need. You couldn't bring one of those young players to be in the academy and then take a better look? They don't do it. What's the point of you signing these players and
he does see if you're looking at physical tall midfielder, he does not want these type of midfielders. The midfielder that he wants to play in his midfield needs to be like small, skinny, and technical.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Because the game has changed. Football has evolved. You have to win. Like, even you look at PSG, people think, oh, even PSG midfield, they're small. Yes, they're small, but they're physical. Yeah, they can go and jump and win duels. Yeah, I've seen Vitinha jumping like to get the ball with tall players. You will never see that with bloody Bernardo Silva or Foden. You will not, because this is not what they do. Yeah, Nico Riley, I said it. Get one of the midfielders that you're playing full backs, put in midfield, and people come. Oh, it would. Where is going to be the creativity? Well, the data and the stats, they show that our creativity is coming from the wings, not from the midfield. So it doesn't matter, really. The only reason you're saying that is because we're gonna have to sacrifice one of your favorites, and you're not willing to do that. You want players coming first before what's the best for the team. It's mental. It's absolute mental. Yeah. If your creativity is coming from midfield, if it's coming from the right wings, because look at the way we play. We spread the ball straight into the wide players. We don't go through the middle. We always go through the wide players. So if you want to go through the wide players, which is fine, yeah, then your midfield needs to be a proper midfield that actually are physical to win the ball back for you, because your wide players will not do it. You haven't got Jack Grealish who can win the ball back to you. You haven't got that anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's absolute mental. Yeah, sacrifice one of your midfielders.
Mateus, last season, Gundalorian said something that was very valid. When we were struggling with physicality, dual winning, ball carrying in the midfield, he said, play Jack in the eight. Because at least you're going to have the physicality. Jack will go forward and Jack will track back.
He did
didn't
that
even
against
try.
Forest. That was the only game.
Yeah, yeah.
And he never took what did he do after the game after? He reversed back to what he knows. He does, brother. He does not want it. He's not willing to change. He will change it for 1 or 2 games. Then after that, he was like, no. I need to go back to my philosophy. I need to go back to my midget, the 5'1", skinny players. Because he only thinks about the game in possession. He does not think about out of possession. Because out of possession, the way football is being played now, you have to be physical and aggressive in midfield. That's why we're getting overrun. Villa Park. What did he do? Right, okay. Nico Gonzalez is not fully fit. Yeah, cool. Well, fair enough. Then if Nico Gonzalez in there, he decides to go with the Reinders, who is not. He can't win any duels. See the madness that he done at Villa Park. Yeah? Reinders, who is not physical good enough, and then in front of him, Foden and Bernardo Silva. I was like, brother, what are you doing? What are you doing? Do you know what I mean? His decision has been absolute mental. And people say, oh, we didn't have Nico Gonzalez. Yeah, you didn't have Nico Gonzalez, but you had O'Reilly and bloody Nunes. Bring Kusanov back into right back. Nunes, right, you go in midfield and support Reinders. But no, listen, Nunes is not smart enough. See, that's a lot of bullshit. And the fan base never question him. Just back him. Whatever he does, just back him.
Yeah, it's I don't know. This season, I'm not looking at the title. The thing that I'm looking more so is just structure, structure with the team, the decision makings. Otherwise, they're going to have to either get rid of a lot of these guys and get him what he needs, or he will need to go. You can't have it both ways because
Listen,
he's gonna grow tired and frustrated. and it's going to eat at him. Frankly, it's going to cause a problem for his health because I think he's obsessive with football, which is a good thing, but that obsession is going to eat away at his health, and I don't want him to detriment his health at the expense of football. At the end of the day, this is just a game and it's a business, but it's going to cost his health, and it may even cost some of the players' health. Holland cannot get injured. Knock on wood. You know, I'm fearful of that. I'm fearful. It's so crazy. Just off of that game, if Doku goes down, because Doku's had muscular issues, who plays on the left? That's a problem.
That's a good
yeah.
question. A
See, the
very
problem
good
is,
question.
Daniel, people say, "Oh, we need to go and buy a midfielder." Yeah, cool, right? Okay. If you which midfielder you want to,
Liverpool losing, so you can smile at it, guys.
right? Which midfielder do you want to go out there and buy? Just name me one.
For me,
Yeah.
if I am biased, I'll give you two.
No,
If
just one. It doesn't matter. Just give me one. Yeah.
I would go and get the guy in Croatia,
Which one?
Adriano Jagusic.
Right. Okay. See, how old is he?
I believe he's 20 or 21,
Right.
one of the
Okay.
two.
So in your eyes, you would go and get him, and you would put him in that starting 11, right?
Correct.
See, but with that, the way that this manager thinking, the way this fan base is, they will not put him in that starting 11. So they would go, right, okay, just play one of them, and then that midfielder, the one you want, be maybe a backup for Bernardo Silva. Right. And the reason why I'm saying that, people say Anderson, Morgan Gibbs, right? Yeah, cool. Anderson will come in and play. If Roger's not fit, Anderson will be the backup for Nico Gonzalez. He will not play alongside him because he does not want to play two defensive-minded midfielder to solidify that midfield. He only wants one.
But Mateus, then that's a problem because
Yes,
if you
exactly.
bring bring Anderson, one of Turkey, Rangers, and Foden will have to be on the bench or go out wide.
Well, Cherky's out wide already.
So then what that means Foden or Rangers will not play.
Or Bernardo Silva. He's not going to bench. He's not going to bench Foden, and he's not going to bench Bernardo Silva. Let's be honest.
But if Elliot and
because apparently Bernardo Silva is he has an IQ of Einstein. He can't be benched. He's the smartest player.
Mateus, just from a footballing standpoint, Elliot Anderson with Nico G or Elliot Anderson with a Rodri is a better fit balance wise than with Foden right now.
Yeah, but it's not about balance. It's about faces.
And there's a problem. Actually, can I revise my pick? I wouldn't get Adriano Jagusic. I would go and get either. I would get Martin Baturina. That's at Como.
Because let's face it, right? Let's say for example, yeah, we play Real Madrid on a Saturday. Let's not playing Saturday, but let's go for example. We play Real Madrid on a Saturday. Roger comes back fit. Yeah, would you play Roger Nico Gonzalez in that midfield? The answer is yes. But come Sunday or Saturday, yeah, he will play one or the other. He will not play both. Because he does not want to add security in midfield. He wants the whole midfielder to be doing the dirty work.
So you know one thing I was gonna say before we finish quickly. I'll let things secure because we're gonna go to Patrick's doing a show at 10 o'clock, so we'll be going to
Patrick is doing 10.
Yeah. We join Patrick at 10, man.
10 UK time. Fuck
yeah.
That's 2 hours from now. Now I'll probably be asleep by then. I work in the morning. I joined too late. I didn't even know that we had this from South Africa.
What do you think? Me, I just believe that the midfield first, yeah. That midfield is weak. I told people about Reinders will not score goals. Premier League is a different grade.
Come on, to be honest, we signed AC Milan's best midfielder. There's nobody here that can tell me that Reinders is shit. That was AC
But you don't walk in
Milan's
the Premier League
team
and
of the season, midfielder of the year in Serie A, you know. But unfortunately, we have a shitty manager in Pep. He'd rather play Bernardo Guardiola, who would rather do 360 turns for a whole 90 minutes than a Reinders, you know. So
Riders is good with another midfielder. Riders is good with two midfielders there.
yes,
So
of course, Reinders is a very progressive midfielder. We didn't sign Reinders to be doing the ball retention game like Bernardo. No, that's not why we signed Reinders. You know, it's the exact same reason why we signed Nunes, and Pep decided to play the guy at right back. Pep has an issue. He wants these players that will play progressively, but he still insists on playing players that are safe.
yeah,
So it kind of makes you think, how do you bring in Nunes, a guy that has played midfield his whole life, and you decide, no,
you're right.
you're not fit enough to play midfield. Let me put you at right back,
Yep.
and then people will tell you that Pep is the greatest,
Yeah.
and act like Pep is not losing his shit. Like we seeing Pep is Pep is falling,
And guess who played right back in the last 10 minutes of yesterday?
To be honest, I didn't even watch the whole game. I went to sleep, guys.
Well, it was Reinders.
You put Reinders in at right back.
Yeah. Reinders was playing right back in the last 10 minutes of the game. Yeah. Don't be surprised if Reinders in the next few months, Reinders gets shifted into a different position.
That's his obsession. Pepper's washed. Any midfielder that he gets, he puts them in fullback, which is why I say we will never sign a right back again under this manager, because he prefers a midfielder, because he wants to be such a genius. He wants to be known as a genius. I turned a midfielder into a right back. Why don't you just play the player in their fucking position? Wow, when did that become like? When did that become such a difficult thing to do? Let's play a player in their right position, but he overcomplicates the game. That's our manager. That's the greatest football manager in the Premier League right now. He'll sign a midfielder only to play them at right back, and then he'll complain. He'll complain about stuff like injuries and all that stuff.
Everyone is saying Reinders is shit. Reinders is not good enough, right? Any midfielder that he's signed, they're not good enough apart from Gundo. Let's face it, Calvin Phillips is not good enough. Nunes is not good enough.
Thank you.
Is not good enough. Now Reinders is not good enough. So
who's the common denominator in all those examples? Who's the common denominator?
The recruitment.
Bro,
who's the common denominator?
We're speaking these midfielders.
It's true.
Exactly.
Bro,
exactly.
When we signed Calvin Phillips, yeah?
Who's calling for these shots?
No.
Exactly.
When we signed Calvin Phillips, he sat down on a press conference and said, my friend Bielsa, called me and said, come and have a look at this player. I looked at him, I spoke to the scouting department and said, yes, I want this player. Yeah, 2 months down the line, Calvin Phillips is no longer good enough. Yeah, January Reinders, go and watch the January Reinders' first interview. Yeah, Pep Guardiola called me and said, I need a number 8. And I was coming to Man City. During the World Cup, Pep Guardiola sat in press conference. Yeah, he was praising him. So now he's no longer good enough. Who is signing these players?
That's what I'm looking at. That Soriano and these guys. And that's why I said they need to start considering about stepping down. I think they need to, because I don't think to get that midfield wrong is criminal. I think this recruitment, bringing Savio, bringing Phillips, bringing Nunes, bringing
The
This guy,
recruitment lately has been shit. um, honestly, and you get people that will justify rather keeping Savio over Rodrigo. I mean,
is bad.
the fan base has even accepted mediocre players. They don't want to sign world class players anymore. So it's gotten to that point now where they'll accept any bullshit that Ferran and them serve them. You know, the board can't do no wrong. But
And
clearly, we saw that the board can do wrong.
that's what I believe. The Ferra and these guys, bro. Reinders has think he has to be critical. This season he's not being good enough. 100%. I mean, Fuda we signed, he progresses the ball, but
Yeah, he hasn't been. He had a very good debut. You know,
really
since
bad.
that debut, I don't know what has happened, but you also have to look at you have to look at Pep as well, man.
Yeah, fact. No,
Like we can't keep glossing over Pep, man. Pep is a terrorist, you know. He's a terrorist at the moment.
No, it's the stubbornness that's cost him. Is the arrogance about you have to do my way. It has to
My
go
way
my
or
way.
the highway. You know, my way or the highway.
And I'm the greatest, so you have to believe in my way. I don't care what you say. I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna take off Savio when he's having stinkers. Brentford stinker, Aston Villa stinker, played 4 games. This game stinker played 4 games. Stinker against Newcastle, he comes on. Mahmoud doesn't come on. Bro, I'm like, this manager here. This manager.
And once we saying last season that Savio's position is left wing and Pep kept playing him in right wing. Why is he only playing him in left wing now?
Fact.
When he's been playing Girona, majority of his games in Girona, his best performances were on the left wing. We were begging for Pep to play Savio on the left wing, and the whole season last season he persisted with Savio on the right, where he had barely any output there. He can't score anything. So why not play the players in their best positions? I always ask this, like, what's wrong with Pep? Things that are obvious to us are not so obvious to Pep, which blows my mind because apparently he's the greatest manager ever. You know?
I think it's great, but the problem is, I think his legacy has been spoiled by what exactly? The stubbornness.
He is tainting his legacy. Yeah, 100% is tainting his legacy.
Is costing him his legacy. That stubbornness. The fact of you think you know it all, you're the greatest, you've done it, so you are trying to do your way. I'm sorry, your way is not the way that football used to work. Football used to work on humbleness, over bad desire, wanting to win. I want quality players. He has failed in the last 2 years. Pep, for me, he gets 2 or 3 out of 10. Absolutely this shocking, bro. Shocking.
No,
he tried to coach that team. And I looked at him and thought, you're getting out-coached by a manager.
Do we even know that manager, guys? And do we even know those players? That's a dead Leverkusen side. You know, that's a dead. That's a
2015 Man City. Mazza. What's the name? Kwanzaa. They had 11 players out. They outplayed us.
And people still try.
Monaco had 8 players, 9 players out. Outplayed us.
Yeah. And people still tell me that, and which is why I say it's 2 things. It's Pep being shit, and it's also the players being average, because you can't tell me those players, our Savinho and them, can't do something against those players.
Yeah.
Who are those players? Like, can anybody tell me majority of who those Leverkusen players are? We don't know most of them, and we're at home, and these guys can't even get us a goal at home at our ground. Yet people think with the right manager we can win. We can win a title with these bench players. With Rico.
I am starting. I was the biggest Pep in, but after seeing this, he has to take the smoke. I'm sorry. You stubborn
You
guy.
still Pep in. I was Pep out from last season. You know, I started to see the decline started.
I'm thinking, you arrogant man. You arrogant man. You disrespected the UCL. You've not even gone through, and you play that team. A team got slapped 7-2. You couldn't even beat them. Slapped you by 7, by 11. You got slapped by Newcastle. We got slapped by Tottenham. We got slapped by Villa. We got slapped by Brighton. We were slapped.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing.
Blazing a team, Liverpool, that's been, even Liverpool fans will say this is shocking. Man United have beaten us.
Yeah.
Yeah? To me, I'm looking at this team, it's full of bums. I'll go through them.
Yeah. Here's my thing. Hold on, Hamza. Here's my thing. I get your point. Well, I don't. Let me put it this way. You saying that you saw the lineup and you immediately flipped out. I'm saying, if the players that everyone in this fan base claim are good, people are telling me Trafford should stay to challenge. He should challenge Dorna. Okay, if he's good enough to challenge Dorna, why can't he start against a shit Leverkusen? A shit. We're not playing these guys against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu.
They've got 11 players out.
Exactly.
12 players out, bro.
So which is why I'm saying, when everyone is saying they were flipping out when they saw that starting 11, I'm saying that was a fair 11 against that shit Leverkusen. They should be able to do something against.
1,000%.
They should be able to do something against the Leverkusen side.
That our 11, I know those players.
Our 11 can't be as bad as that Leverkusen side. I'm not hearing it. I'm not because these guys are telling me that these guys are good enough to someday be City starters, right? Your Bob, your Savio, they're good enough, which is why they're on our bench in the first place. I believe that a player that's on our bench should be good enough to eventually make it into our starting 11. If they even have the right to be on our bench, it means that you are good enough to challenge. Yesterday was their day to challenge for a starting position. No one has locked down that right wing position. Who has locked down that right wing position? It's still yet to be locked down. At least Doku has locked down the left wing. I know Doku is our starting left wing now. And people know me. I'm not really the biggest of Doku fans, but I can say that Doku is our starting left wing. I can tell you that our starting striker is Haaland, and our current starting midfielder is Nico and Foden. People are still yet, but obviously. Bernardo will never get that position taken away from. But I'm saying these guys can't even set a statement to knock on the door and say I'm fit enough to play in the starting 11. Against the shit Bayer Leverkusen side. They can't even stake their claim against that shit Bayer Leverkusen team. So that's why I say it's a combination of both. People are saying they were mad when they saw that lineup. I wasn't, because you guys claim these guys are good enough to start for City eventually. These guys are good enough to be the future of Man City. So if they can't even salvage something against a shit Bayer Leverkusen side, then you guys were basically chatting shit. You're gaslighting me. You were gaslighting me. Because if they were so good enough to start for City.
I just think Xavier. I think Xavier is a bum.
He is.
Nicholas is a bum.
He is.
Is a bum. I think
100%.
Luka Matevno is mediocre. Cherky is not world class. He needs to do more. Reinders has been shocking. His player of the year fine has been shocking. Nico G, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10.
At the moment, Nico G. Nico G is actually he's playing very well. I can't lie.
Yeah. I'm looking at players who don't win you games. Foden is not a leader. Foden disappears in games like these. He disappeared against Newcastle. Yeah? I'm looking at this guy. He's a 25-year-old boy now. No longer a guy you can protect anymore.
No, he can't. No. He holds the smoke.
You look at this, you're thinking, my God, we're that bad. We are bad. We are bad. Like literally, Pep aim is top 4. His aim is top 4. Chelsea are nothing special.
They're not. They're not.
Champions League nothing special.
You know, and they'll tell you, Hamza, that it's a marathon, not a sprint. You know, they're still pushing this marathon. It's a marathon, not a sprint propaganda that they were pushing last season, and we saw
Yeah, give
how
them
that turned
time.
out.
Give Savio time.
Yeah, we
Savio's
saw.
not wrong. He's
We saw how
useless.
that turned out. We saw how that gimmick turned out last season.
The City fans are complaining. Echeverri cannot start for Bayer Leverkusen. We need to have him back. How dare you? We got done by that team and said, if he can't start for us, probably can start for you because we're better than you. We beat you 2-0.
Exactly.
He wouldn't
Exactly.
start for that team even. Bayer Leverkusen.
Exactly.
Bro, and he
Exactly.
refuses to. I think Pep's stubbornness will cost him.
It's already cost him, man.
He might not win anything this season. And if he doesn't win anything this season, bro, I'm sorry. Sometimes you have to accept that you have failed. He failed last year.
He did.
And
He
he's
did.
already
100% he
failing
failed.
second year. He's failing badly
failing.
second year. Yeah? To
And
me,
he's-
I think the time has come to roost. And I'm so glad for people who've opened their eyes, especially social media, on Savio, on people at the ground. People call me who go to the ground. They dislike Savio. They don't like Savio. Bob, they don't rate. Rico, people go to the ground. They season ticket holders dislike these players.
Which is good. Which is good because
people walked out 60 minutes. Empty stadium, 75.
which is good. Which is good. Rightfully so. They should walk out. They should be booing those. They should be booing those players after that performance at the Etihad. You crazy? You should be angry.
Respected them, absolutely.
You should be angry after that performance. There's no way we're getting slapped by a shit Leverkusen with injuries at the Etihad. We're getting smashed at the Etihad, and you're gonna tell me you're not gonna lose your shit?
Absolutely.
You have to.
Booed full time.
You have to. And I wish it continues. You know, I wish it continues because we've gotten to a point now. The fan base has gotten complacent because if you complain, if you want more, they said you're a spoiled brat. Well, excuse me, I'd rather be a spoiled brat than struggle. You know, people are so addicted to struggle now. I don't know why people make struggle such a desirable thing. I'd rather be a spoiled brat. I'm telling you now, I'd rather be the guy with the trophy in the hand and I'm saying, go get me another world-class player.
Everywhere. He was in the TV line. 65th minute. I took a seat. People walked out. Yeah, people walked out. I was so glad. 75th
They should. You see, this is exactly why people shouldn't walk out in the 60th minute.
Fans for doing this. 74th minute. And the fans are like, how?
Mancunian Wayne is saying that's embarrassing. Nobody should walk out 60th minute.
We've moved from that era. That era is
We've moved for that.
Was done. Finito.
We are spoiled brats now.
This is a new Man City.
This is not a struggle. This is not a struggle Man City team where we praying for promotion. No. We are spoiled brats now. We want more. I'm tired of people stuck on this. People treating us like we're still this small city, the noisy neighbor. No. Now we need we need to maintain standards now. You know, when I don't know, people have a high tolerance for bullshit. When you're watching a terrible series, don't you turn off the TV and just be like, fuck, what am I watching, and change the channel?
Absolutely.
Is football not entertainment? Don't we turn on our TVs to watch football? And if something is not entertaining you, don't you just walk away or just turn off your TV? Why would you stick there? Why would you still continue to watch shit? So it's not embarrassing at all. If these guys are clearly playing shit, and I'm at the stadium to be entertained, and these guys are serving me draws, of fucking course I'm gonna walk out. You know,
100%.
I'd walk out. I'd turn off my TV, and then they'll call me a plastic.
They will not accept that. I was happy, bro. You ain't gonna lie to the people. When people walk at 24th minute, they would walk away. I'm so glad. I hope you guys.
I'm glad that happened. I'm so glad they even booed. You know, when people told me they were booing the players, I'm like, wow.
This stadium.
I'm like, wow, people still boo players because that's foreign to me. Now I don't remember the last time we booed. I think that was 1920 when we had that shit. We even won a trophy that season, but the players were getting booed. I remember that was the last time I actually remember City getting booed. You know, I'm like, oh, people still have people can still boo. I'm actually proud to see that. You know, we've just become a fan base that has a high tolerance for bullshit and
Listen,
low level
we'll be back
performance.
at Things channel at 10 o'clock, yeah? Guys, we'll be back at 10 o'clock with the, what's the name, the show? Patrick's show, yeah? True Fan City, yeah? Guys, make sure you're there 10 o'clock today in an hour and a half's time, man. Sifu, thank you so much. We might do another stream tomorrow, man, because it
Shout out,
hasn't
man.
ended. Yeah? Big up.